The hype around the 2004 Kentucky Derby was all about Smarty Jones. We had a horse coming into the Derby undefeated.
Smarty Jones had what would be first-time winning connections. His owner, Someday Farm, Pat and Roy Chapman, trainer John Service, jockey Stuart Elliott.
There was talk that they might take Stuart off of that horse to get a more seasoned Derby jockey.
And I remember Chappie calling me, and I never forget, Chappie goes, "So let me ask you a question. You're comfortable taking a jockey that's never ridden in the Kentucky Derby, and he's riding against the best riders in the country, and you're fine with that?" I said, "Chappie, I'm fine with it." He goes, "Then I'm fine with it."
I appreciate John, you know, he helped me out there if they were thinking about doing something else, and I'm glad it all worked out.
People are going to be looking back at this one in 20 years. They're going to say, we had the hardest rainstorm I've ever seen in my life.
It'd be hard to talk about that Derby and not talk about the weather as well.
So now my thoughts are, big field, he's always been clear, you know, he's never really been in behind in traffic. Now, if that happens with the mud, how's he going to handle the mud? If he takes him a little bit and he gets covered up and gets that stuff thrown on him, could be the end.
There is no rain at all falling at the moment, but the skies continue to look like they could open up at any moment.
And then once we got to the paddock, everything was great. We saddled. Stuart came down. I asked him how he felt. He said, "I feel good." And I said, "Look, you got a great post. You know, everybody's going to be jockeying for position going into that first turn. Just get yourself in a good spot and ride your race."
And they're off in the Kentucky Derby.
He broke good, but it was kind of a cavalry charge, and he was not a real big horse, and he was in between, kind of getting shuffled a little bit.
You know, he didn't back out, man. He held him right in there and held his position, and he rolled into the first turn in a perfect position.
So as we get into the straightaway down the backside, we go a little way, and I was able to ease him out of the slump. And as soon as I did, he jumped on the bridle. From then on, I says, here's my horse. I should be good from here.
5 furlongs to go. Smarty Jones is a stalking second as they approach the far turn.
And then going into the turn, he let Smarty pick it up on his own, and he got to Lionheart pretty quick.
As Lionheart turns for home, and undefeated Smarty Jones comes wide off the turn, and these two hook up at the top of the stretch. Lionheart is all heart. Smarty Jones is all out.
I see him coming to the 8th hole, and I see him finally put away Lionheart, and they're coming to the 16th hole, and I didn't say anything to anybody. I remember putting my binoculars down and going, "Man, I'm gonna win the Kentucky Derby."
And here is the first undefeated winner of the Kentucky Derby since Seattle Slough in 1977.
It was kind of unexplainable. It was like I had this outer body experience for just a second. It was like, wow, that was the Derby.
My oldest son grabbed a hold of me and he was hugging me. My youngest son was hanging on my neck. The Chapmans, everybody's hugging and kissing, and Mr. Chapman was in a wheelchair. And to get the wheelchair, everybody, you know, the whole place is packed, everybody's going crazy. To get the wheelchair downstairs to the winner's circle was not an easy task. It was easier to win the Derby than it was to get Chappie to the winner's circle. You know, he took me on a ride that it was almost like it was a dream through the whole thing.
In your wildest dreams, did you think this would ever happen?
No, I didn't. And to be very honest, I don't think it's sunk in yet. I mean, we're just tickled to death, Stu and I both, to have the opportunity, and Mr. and Mrs. Chapman gave us that and gave us a horse like this, and you know, us two guys from Philadelphia made the best of it.